What's going on, everybody? King of Dragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Hasbro Star Wars Black Series Boba Fett. And so here we have the Black Series Tython Boba Fett pose and out of the packaging. Before we have a look at the figure, let's actually run through what he comes with. Boba Fett does come with 3 weapons. We do get his blaster, which does fit in his hand nicely, or it can go into his side holster. He does come with a cycle rifle, which also looks really good. He can hold that as well, or that can go over his shoulder really nicely. His final accessory is his gaffy stick, which does go into his hands good, and then like the cycle rifle, it does go on his back. Other than that, Boba Fett here doesn't come with anything else. So with that out of the way, let's have a closer look at Boba Fett. So here we have a closer look at Boba Fett, and if you guys remember my Throne Room Boba Fett review, he uses the exact same head, so it's the same head right here on the figure. I still have the same issues with the head that I had with that previous figure, is that it doesn't look damaged enough. Boba Fett looked really messed up in The Mandalorian, and this doesn't encapsulate that very well. He has some burns here and there, but I would like to see some burns all throughout his head, just like it was in the show. It's a really good sculpt, and I feel like it does get Temuera Morrison. For the most part, it could have been a little more aged, like maybe have his face a little thinner, because he was kind of I want to say malnourished, but no, he was kind of thin in Mandalorian. But yeah, good head sculpt, could be better though. Now, going on to the rest of his costume, he is wearing the Tusken Raider garb that we saw him get in Book of Boba Fett, and I do like the fact that they made this soft goods. They even went the extra mile to at least make it look like the edging was frayed, so really nice detail right there all around the robe. You can see some fraying, so that's really good. Even right here on the sleeves, on the hood, it's really good attention to detail. Now my issue is that the hood doesn't really go on the figure really nicely. You kind of got to fold it in on itself a few times to make it sit flush on him like that, and it is very big, and when you go over his head it just like billows out. So yeah, this is probably going to be the way I have mine posed. Now, that's not saying he doesn't have any detail. They did give him the proper attire that he is wearing underneath his robe here. So you can see he has like this padded shirt going onto his sleeves right here, which they're the exact same sleeves, at least at the bicep, that we saw with the Throne Room Boba Fett. The only difference is he doesn't have the armor right here, so instead of having the gauntlet right here, it just goes down into the his wardrobe, and then he does have the wraps around his hand, which again, that is accurate to how he looked. Right here you can see he does have some rounds for the cycle rifle. Excuse me, I don't know why I was saying cycler rifle, but yeah, we have some rounds for the rifle, and then his blaster does fit in his holster. Really do like the fact that it is a different strap than the one we saw with the Throne Room Boba Fett. It looks really nice, and I do like that. Even I want to say at least this part is the same, but the belt itself is completely different. This, I believe it's a different, well, it's similar. Actually, let's actually get the Throne Room Boba Fett out here so we can take a look. Yeah, it's the same, but it just looks like the belt was retooled, because the rest of the sculpt looks the exact same. So I'm just going to chalk it up that the belt is the only retooling. The fabric part coming down is the only reuse, and then of course the reuse on this figure is going to be from his waist down to his knees, where he is using brand new knees. In case you guys weren't aware, the knees on the Throne Room Boba Fett had the the knee pads right here. This one does not have the knee pads. He just has the tunic right there going onto his spats right here, which have this really nice shade of blue. Overall, really nice figure, and if the camera will focus, I can talk more about his boots. They're the same ones that we saw with the Throne Room Boba Fett. So nice reuse and some new parts, although this figure did technically come out first. I'm just barely getting around to reviewing it, but yeah, really nice figure. I like the detailing here on Boba Fett. So with that out of the way, guys, let's get him posed and compared to other figures you may have in your collection. Here we have Boba Fett compared to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we have Boba Fett posed next to a WWE Elite Scale figure and a Mezco 1/12 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Boba Fett posed next to Lightning Collection White Ranger in a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. And for one final comparison, here we do have Boba Fett posed next to the Walmart exclusive Tython Boba Fett and the Throne Room Boba Fett. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually have a look at Boba Fett's articulation. Now Boba Fett does have a double ball joint here at the head, so he can look up and down, can tilt his head side to side, as well as turn left and right. Then he has another ball joint here at the base of the neck, which does let him move his head even better, so we get some really good range. He does have a butterfly joint in the shoulder, which isn't the best we've seen, but it does pivot forward and back. Arm, despite being in the robe, does go out to the side, does go all the way around. You just gotta mind the robe, but it does move all the way around as well. No bicep swivel, but we do have a single bend here at the elbow, which you do got to be careful on which way that joint is facing, because the arm might be twisted, and if you force it you could break it, but it does go past 90 degrees, so I do like that. He does have a swivel and horizontal hinge on the left hand, vertical hinge on the right side, so I do like that. He has a ball joint here at the waist, so that does move forward to about right there. Can arch back side to side, as well as has some rotation, although it is a little bit hindered because of this strap going all over his shoulder, so do keep that in mind when posing him. Legs do kick forward to about right there, they kick back to about right there, out to the side. No, that's decent. We have a thigh swivel up high, single bend here at the knee, giving us better than 90 degrees, and then we do have rotation at the knee. Then we have rotation here at his boot, followed by a hinge in the ankle going back and slightly forward, followed by forward facing pin for rocker ankle. So overall, Boba Fett here has some pretty good articulation, and despite not being the most agile character, I think the articulation works for Boba Fett, especially in the Mandalorian era of Boba Fett. So with that taken care of, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Star Wars Black Series Tython Boba Fett pose for my final thoughts, and overall really do like this figure. I really did dig his Tusken Raider garb that he wore in The Mandalorian and the early parts or flashback scenes of Book of Boba Fett. I think this figure looks really nice. My one and only complaint really is that the head sculpt is too clean. He really should be more banged up and messed up, because he was dunked in acid pretty much, and I'm surprised that they didn't go more with the paint, just having more splotches of damage that he has on his face, maybe some more scarring, because this looks really tame, and I do understand this is a toy marketed toward children, but a little more paint would have gone a long way. Overall, still like the overall feel of this figure. The gaffy stick, the cycle rifle are a really nice addition. I'm honestly not sure if he still used a blaster in this costume. I think he got the blaster when he got his armor back. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure he only used the rifle and the gaffy stick while he was wearing this garb. But all things aside, still like the way this figure came out. Now, if you are looking for this particular version of Boba Fett, he is relatively on the cheap side at the time I'm making this video. If you are looking for him, he is going to run you a little under $20, and that's pretty much what he's going for. This isn't a really sought after figure. It's pretty much one of those figures that if you're a hardcore collector, you've picked up, but if you're kind of sort of not into the Mandalorian Boba Fett, you probably didn't pick this one up, but I think you really should. It's pretty much a Book of Boba Fett figure as well as a Mandalorian figure, and I really do like the accessories he came with. The fact that he is on the cheaper side now does show that this wasn't a sought after figure, so you can get him for even cheaper than what I paid. Now, I did get this figure for $22.99. This was before Hasbro's price hike of $25. It was still pretty much expensive, but now, seeing as how this figure would be $25 if they were to reissue it, yeah, Hasbro, you really got to look at your marketing, because your pricing is outrageous and you are getting a lot of people out of the hobby. If you're a fan of Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett, or his appearance in Mandalorian, you're definitely going to want to have this figure in your collection. And like I said, on Amazon, he is going for, I think, under $20 right now. So definitely pick this figure up if you are a fan of the character. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Star Wars Black Series videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it's in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified anytime I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.